Now, a few months ago, a group of Saudi women organized a massive driving protest to shed light on the country's ban against licensing female drivers. Now, the campaign launched on Facebook and using the hashtag Women to Drive won supporters from around the world. This is it over here. Very catchy looking emblem over there. And now there's even a Twitbin or Twibbon, as they call it. It's a Twitter ribbon. And you can go and sign up and show your solidarity. So far, there are 3,755 supporters. And it's basically a way of taking your avatar, your picture on Twitter, and adding a little ribbon, a digital ribbon to it to show your solidarity. These are some of the recent supporters over there to show that you're connected and this is what you're standing for. You can even use it as your profile picture on Facebook and other social networking. So when one of the campaign's key organizers, Manal Sharif, took to the airwaves to discuss the issue, social media couldn't stop buzzing about it, so much so that we used the hashtag ourselves to ask you what would happen when a Saudi woman drives. Let me just show you. I've got a few of them over here in our Storyfy. Ahmed has many, many more. We've been getting so much feedback. Some people have used the opportunity for some tongue-in-cheek humor. Most people have had some passionate views. Ahmed, give us a taste of those.
Yeah, so as Imran said, we asked you, our audience, to finish this sentence using the hashtag, when a Saudi woman drives, and you did. So here are some of the most memorable responses. We'll start with Aziz Al-Alami, who's in Saudi Arabia. He gave an economic response. He says, when a Saudi woman drives, the outrageous costs spent on expat drivers will dwindle and cash flows will circulate in the country and not out. Now we have Asrar Anwar from Iraq saying, when a Saudi woman drives, she is becoming one step closer to embracing what Islam first gave to women, rights, with an exclamation point there. But Abdurrahman from Qatar said, right here, we'll look, it says only at Jeddah. So he's saying they should only drive in Jeddah, a city in Saudi. It should be more like a testing ground, and also due to the fact that Jeddah is a liberal city by Saudi standards. Now, we also got many responses from Saudi women themselves from the kingdom. Here is one from Nolil. She puts it really simply. She says right here, when a Saudi woman drives, she will be safe. So on that note, I just wanted to ask you, Sultan, what do you think she means by she will be safe if she drives?
I think, women are largely concerned with, for instance, if the driver was out of the house, they would be able to drive their sons or daughters to a hospital. It is also a financial burden on them. Sometimes if women, for instance, go to weddings and stay late at night, they want to be able to drive home whenever they want to, rather than wait for a long time for drivers to arrive.
So if you had to, for us right now live, finish the hashtag, when a Saudi woman drives?
The roads will be safer.
All right, we'll stick with that.
Why will the roads be safer?
Because men can't drive.
Well, I've lived in the Gulf for a little while. I've seen the guys do those little two-wheel numbers and people surfing. It seems to be a bit of a part of the youth culture in Saudi.
It's called drifting.
Yeah. And people stick it up on YouTube as well, gloating. It's almost like the stag racing in the US, if you like. I mean, just in a general sense, Saudi roads are not very safe, are they?
They are, in fact, one of the highest fatalities in the world is in Saudi Arabia. The Gulf in general is very dangerous to drive in. But in Saudi, in the Gulf, people flaunt the traffic laws. They drive on the shoulder. They don't wear seat belts so much. You see a lot of people driving, holding the steering wheel with their kids sitting on their laps, as if their kids were their airbags.
Sultan, I saw that a lot of people in the Gulf responded using the hashtag saying they let their wives, or they encourage their wives to drive in certain GCC countries, maybe Bahrain, Kuwait, the UAE, but not Saudi, because they don't trust the cops, but also the people.
I think people have a misconception. Not all Saudis are bad drivers.
Right.
But the truth is that for a society that has not seen women drive for half a century, it is quite dangerous. Even for Saudi women to drive, some of them get stopped, some of them get they get harassed on the streets. This was something that we kept up with during the June 17th Women to Drive Day.
Is women driving in Saudi Arabia, the theme of women driving, is it a sub-theme of the Arab Spring?
I believe so, yes.
Why?
I believe that the women, including Manal Sharif, were very much inspired by Arabs demanding rights, demanding change to the status quo. So I believe that this is one small side of the Arab Spring.
What is the big issue in Saudi Arabia then, if this is one of the smaller aspects that might open the door?
I think the broader issue is emancipation, and it's not just of women, it's of society in general. It's for people being able to speak for themselves. It's for people, you know, people also should not think that the Saudis are unhappy with their government. The Saudi king is, in fact, very popular. He has initiated a series of reforms. However, Saudi has one of the largest youth population ratios in the world.
Right.
Maybe almost 2/3 of the population is under 25 or 26 years old. They demand different things. They expect their lives to change faster, and that's why they've taken it on their own selves to change.
Just a reminder, we're trying to get Manal Sharif on the line via Skype. We hope we can get her sometime soon, because although time is running out, we could always continue the discussion in the post-show at stream.aljazeera.com. And I'm delighted to inform you that we've got her on the line. Manal Sharif maintains this is not about her, and it's not about just the right to drive, but about the broader issue of women's rights in Saudi Arabia. Manal, welcome to the stream. After you've heard some of the feedback that we've had on the program, and after the response to your campaign, do you believe that you're winning in this battle?
It's not why you call it a battle. It's we call it the spring, the Saudi Women's Spring, and I think yes, we're progressing.
What's been the most encouraging for you?
The most encouraging so far, that no woman been sent to jail or signed a pledge ever since June 17. That's a huge progress.
On your Facebook and Twitter profile, you say that you live in the kingdom of Saudi men. That's quite revealing, and I think not much more needs to be said about it, because the message gets across. Why is it the kingdom of Saudi men, and how long do you think it will take before it becomes the kingdom for all Saudis, including you and your young son, Abdullah?
The Kingdom of Saudi Men, I was thinking to write a book with this title. We as women here, we cannot do anything without a male guardian, without his permission, to study, to work, to do business. And that doesn't make us a full citizens. And we want to be citizens with full rights. That's why until we get that, I'll keep calling it the Kingdom of Saudi Men.
Manal, we see on Twitter there have been a lot of people who want to ask you questions. One from Ahmed Al-Mansour, he says he's pro-women driving in general, but Saudi Arabia, I presume, is not ready for it yet. And lots of people have said out of all the priorities in terms of women's rights, driving is not one of them. What do you say?
Yeah, not ready. I don't know when we will be ready to. Is there like a green light they're going to give us, and they say, "Hey, we're ready. You can go and claim your rights." So I disagree with that. About the priorities, Ahmed, we live in cities. Having a car, we don't have public transportations, and if you want to go to your school, to your work, to get your grocery, you need to have a car to drive around or take a cab. And women, you can't ask them to go and fight for the big rights, and if they didn't get the small ones or the basic ones.
Well, talking about those rights, sorry to interrupt you, Manal, very recently, the Shura Council, which advises the king, has said that women will be able to vote in municipal council elections. Do you see that as a big victory?
Actually, in the last 3 months, there was a huge progress in lots of things. One of them is the municipal election. I won't see it a big victory until, inshallah, King Abdullah approve it. That will be victory. And until a woman can stand for election herself, not only have the right to vote, that's a victory.
Manal, we're going to leave it at that for the moment. You're going to stay with us, and we'll continue the conversation with our community online. Stream.aljazeera.com is where it will happen. For our TV viewers, we'd like to thank Sultan. Thanks a lot for joining us. Stay where you are. Stay on the orange couch. We'll continue the discussion about Saudi women driving on the other side of this. Ahmed, thanks for that, and thanks for watching. Don't forget you can watch us on YouTube, stream.aljazeera.com, or We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.